Let's see how. Hey, how are you?
Hey, I wonder where the ghost was that was driving this car.
Oh, I know, right? I only come outside when the sun go down. I'm like a vampire.
I don't blame you.
No, you have a beautiful home.
Thank you.
Yes.
Need about five of me to take care of it.
But you do a great job though. It looks beautiful. How long have y'all had this?
About almost 10 years.
Oh, really? Okay, so you don't have to do no like no upkeep on the house because of how it's built.
Yeah, I'm still painting everything, staining.
Yeah. How often you have to do that?
Well, we lived here for 3 years and we paid a company to do it.
Right.
And then a year later, it was coming off.
What?
And I called them back and they said, "Oh, we're out of business." That was my mom's company. And I went, "You did it. I want to know what you're going to do to fix it."
Right. Well, you see why they went out of business.
They said, "Yeah, it's going to be like 15 grand or something." I said,
What?
"No, heck no. I'll do it
No.
myself."
Yeah.
And I changed the color on it. I hand sanded everything.
Wow. See,
So it
I
stayed
was going to
on.
say my dad had built our house from scratch, but it's that cedar wood, like oh my goodness. It's the same thing. You have to keep painting it, treating it, painting it, treating it.
It's cedar.
Yeah.
I put cedar siding on that house over that we have around the corner,
Uh-huh.
and I painted it, and it peeled right off in a year.
Really?
I had the bare rep from Home Depot
Uh-huh.
talking to him, and I used everything that they said to do, and it still peeled right off like a new.
Really?
And one old geezer painter told me, he's laughing at me, he goes, "Yeah, cedar, you gotta let that sit for years before you can paint it." He goes,
Right, right. That's what I was about to say. I'm like, wow, what? They should have told you that. Yeah. And they have it just a
"It's not hassle."
yeah. And that's what I was about to say. Their house, so now it's probably 35 years, and now she's just painting it for the first time. So yeah, but I told her, I said it's gonna be a headache.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's another. I know more about staining than a man should ever know.
Right. You can open your own business and just tell people, stay in there, don't do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, do that.
your dad sand that better.
Right. Well, it was
I got the last end to do still.
on the other side.
Yeah,
Oh, well, that's good. At least the trees are hiding it. You would never know.
I got one end to do, and that's it. I'm done.
Right. Well, it was smart doing it that way. I don't know if you planned it, but
I did. I planned it so I'd be doing that end during the summertime,
right.
so that I'd be cool on that end.
Yeah,
I
see?
barely got off the front during the when it was cool. It was
Yeah.
hot, but I got finally done with the front.
Oh, wow.
But there was, I had to replace a lot of the. This is all logs down here,
Uh-huh.
but on the second story, it's conventional. It's studs and it's that log siding,
Oh,
the
really?
big logs. You
Okay.
know, and so I lost a lot of those to rock because the guys before us, log homes are all built by homeowners,
Right, right.
and they buy the kits and they have to put them together, so nobody really knows how to do it.
I
So
know.
all the siding that was touching the roof rotted, and it kind of wicked off. See that siding up there
Yeah.
on that one dormer that comes down?
Uh-huh.
There must have been 20 pieces of siding up there that was rotten, and it was
What?
chipping away.
Oh my goodness.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
But we got it.
But it looks good to me. I can't tell anything's wrong.
Well, Nancy tried, I'm going to say 5, 6 different colors of stain,
Uh-huh.
and she almost settled into one on this side here, and then decided I hate it. And I said, okay,
Right.
forget it. I had to sand every one of them off in those tries that she did. I had to sand them all off.
Oh
She
my
said,
goodness.
"Stop."
Right.
So then I put that one coat on there, and when you sand it, you don't get all the stain out of it.
Right.
When you put the new stain back on, it burns you. So I kept making it darker and darker and darker, and then next thing you know, that's the color I got.
Yeah.
Instead
Wow.
of all, because it looks like just half of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it looks good to me.
It looks
Like,
like a Lincoln log home.
right. That's what I was about to say. Yeah. I'm a country girl, so I was like, look just like being in the country. It's beautiful though. It was good seeing you. Okay.
Hello.
Hey, honey.
Ah,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I finally just get to sit still and not run around like my Zoom is out of control. So about time I finally could just hit a button and be like, boom, we're there.
Yeah, because you know what? Like I was trying to log in and it was like this host has another meeting in progress. And I'm like,
What?
yeah, it was really bizarre. And then finally I just accessed a different email and then I was able to get in.
That is so stupid. I don't Zoom. I mean, I keep trying to find a better platform, but
You still haven't been able
this
to
is,
find,
huh?
but you haven't been able to find one, huh?
No, and I'm scared. I'm scared to try Google. Google has something new. I mean, I'm really about to try Google
Well, because it's
because
Hangout or something, right? Is it like Google Hangout?
I don't. You know what? I don't know because it says like 20 to 50 people or 100 people or something can join. So I don't know if that's Hangout or not. I thought it was something new.
Okay. Okay. I haven't
Maybe
heard
it's
about it.
not.
Sorry, I'm trying to get this I got a new phone and this buddy doesn't want to fit onto it, so I'm like trying to make it work and figure out how to do it. So sorry
You
about
are
that.
fine. No, you're fine.
So
I'm gonna go.
are you still with Tierney?
Uh-huh.
That's awesome.
She's doing something. Huh?
How long are you there until?
I leave tomorrow actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but look, I've been here a week. She's probably like, go home. No. I'm like, I'm your college roommate. Shoot. Love me or not. That's who I am. She was doing something with the horses.
Oh, nice.
I was like, well, you
Yeah.
must be nice to do your passion.
Yeah, for sure. Oh shit.
and, and you may want to talk to her about because now that she has her certification for yoga instructor. I've been helping her a little bit with her business, but you may want to just reach out to her about it.
Yeah, I can definitely help her out with that. Oops. Shit. Well, I guess that's not gonna work. So
While you doing that, I'm gonna get a paper towel because I'm sitting outside.
Okay. Okay. Oh, that would be one.
Girl, whew. Okay.
I'm here. There we go. There we go.
Did you get it?
Yes, I did. I
That's
had to
good.
set my phone, and then I need to get a straw. Let me get that quick.
So what I'm thinking, I really didn't hit hard with inviting like bunches of people.
Okay.
I really just did like 3 people, but I mean, I'm gonna send reminders. But what I was thinking we could do is like I can start off with just da da da. This is what we're doing, blah blah blah, and then ask you questions about what you have going on, like kind of like an interview, and for you to like talk
Sure.
about the business development and why it's important for you to do this, why is your passion, and then I think that's how we should start each one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and then like if we have like sponsors or something, that'll be a time to say, oh, let's give a shout out to whoever thinks for whatever. Um, but yeah, I think we should use it for our benefit where we are actually putting our stuff out there. Because the people, I mean, a lot of people have inboxed me and just like, hey, look, I just watched your show. I love it. I want to be on it. And I'm like, okay, sure. So that's free marketing for us.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And then like we can have like a running list of who all has been on the show so that we make sure that like we reach out to them and just remind them, hey, if you want to come on or if there's anything you want to do, feel free.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I think that's a good idea. All right. So I'm going to send reminders and then we can just start our thing because let's see. It says, okay, let me see. A lot of people are saying that it's saying I'm already in a meeting.
What's happening?
Little wind chimes. Oof.
I know you hear.
Well, I gotta send it to people. Like these wind chimes. I'm gonna send the messages to some people because they said the same thing you just said
They're
about.
having.
It says I'm in another meeting. Putting on a. Her handle is not putting on a shirt.
Oh.
Um, I spoke too fast. Like, oh, easy. Now it's like, oh, it's easy because nobody can get on. Oh, gotta love technology. Okay, now let me see. Um, oh, where's my little hiccup? How's she doing? Have you
Texted
talked to
her.
her?
Mm-hmm. So I texted her today because I like 20 minutes ago because I was like, I'm so sorry. It's been such a crazy day. Like my day started super early and then it was just like chaos through and through. And then after I got home, I had to like go to the grocery store immediately. It was like just one of those days. So I didn't get a chance to reach out to her earlier to remind her.
This is so strange. C-O-O-R-E.
Tonight I made a I don't know what I would call it, but it's like a vodka soda, but I have like strawberries and mint and lime in here. Good.
Oh my God, this sounds good. Anything with vodka?
There's this one
Anything with
flavor I've
vodka.
never heard of that they had, and I should have just bought it, but I wanted just a little bottle. But they had a vodka, and it was pear and elderberry.
Mm.
That sounds super good.
Wow.
You know, so I'm gonna get that in a couple weeks. Mm.
Okay. So hopefully people can get on. If not, I don't know what to tell them.
Let me see something real quick. I might leave you for a second. So hold on
Yeah,
just
you're fine.
okay. Link. So I am going to check the one that worked for me.
You gonna do what?
So that was the link that worked for me.
Which one is it?
The one
You
that
sent
I
it
just
to me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you text it to me or you inbox me?
I sent it via Zoom. You should if you go to the more, if you click on chat, it should be in there.
Oh, okay. Look at you, Miss Savvy.
Me.
Yeah, I don't know what. Let me see. I'm gonna send it to her. I was like, try again. I don't know. Oh, and it's funny because people are like in California, so of course they're like, so yeah, I just remembered.
Oh yeah, because it's like 4 o'clock there right now.
Okay, let me send it to her email. She was like, it's still saying you're in another meeting. I'm like, girl, I don't know where I'm at, but I'm here. All right, BOWLGSKIM.
And then you can always, if you click on participants in the lower left-hand corner, there's an invite button. So you can always do it that way too.
Yeah, that's what I was sending them, but they keep saying that's why I was like, let me try something different. let me see if I close some stuff out, because it doesn't make sense to me that everybody's getting that message that I'm in another meeting. I hope it don't start raining on me.
Keep this one and then come back in if that might help.
You think just exit out?
Yeah, let's leave it, and then I'm gonna come back. Let's see if that works.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, here goes one person.
Oh,
wait a minute, Kelsey.
Coming in.
Oh, yeah, somebody got in.
Perfect.
Hey guys, it's working.
Hi, it's working.
Yay! Oh my goodness. Welcome.
Yeah, I didn't know you were going to be here.
Oh, it sounds like a storm coming over
I
here.
see Kelsey and I see Kat and I hear wind chime.
I know, it's crazy. I'm in the country and I'm outside. It's like it's probably going to start raining on my head. Why I just can't come outside and enjoy the weather? I'll have the storm.
We have a person. Yay! More people.
Okay, here we go. Yay, it's working.
You're on mute.
Hi, how are you?
There you go.
Oh, back in the house.
Ow.
I was trying to get my daughter to go back in the house.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, I have a 4 and a 7-year-old downstairs, and the only reason they're not bothering me is because there's also a 12-year-old down there who's trying to hold down the fort.
That's perfect.
Can you keep her in the house, please?
Connie can't make it tonight. She just texted me.
Okay.
Oh man. How many folks are showing up tonight? Like, how many folks are you expecting?
Oh, where'd she go?
Uh-oh, did we lose someone? Oh, we lost her. We lost Kat.
It looks like she's frozen.
Oh. Hmm. There we go. She'll come back on.
Were you both getting notifications that a meeting was in progress?
I did originally, yeah, and then she sent a new link. Is that what you had happen?
Yeah. Initially, yeah. And then I almost signed back out, and then as soon as I was like about to hit leave, she's like, "Oh, got people."
There's always kinks to work out. There's always kinks.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know how long she's been doing the show for total, but this is, I want to say, like my 6th week or something coming. So I'm coming every Wednesdays from here on out.
Great. Awesome.
Is this your first time on?
This is my first time.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is my first time as well.
Welcome. What's your name?
Clorina. Sorry, I just realized I'm on my husband's computer.
Okay. I was you're probably not Jonathan.
No, it's Clorina.
Nice to meet you.
You as well.
Oh, my eyelashes, you guys. Oh my God. How was everyone's day?
Oh, that water looks good. Is that water?
No, it is a cocktail.
Girl, it looks good.
Wow. Good. It's
No.
Strawberry vodka. Oh, I think she's back.
You do too much.
Strawberry vodka. I muddled strawberries, mint, and lime together, and then it's topped with soda.
Oh my
Oh my
God, that looks good.
I bought I bought a bunch of mint. So I wanted it for like one recipe and that was it. But now I'm like, I got to continuously use it. And so I'm making on Thursday, I'm making a lemon ginger honey green tea.
Oh my gosh.
I'm super excited. Yeah, I've been like,
Amazing.
I bought a papaya, so like I'm waiting for it to like ripen. So I'm like trying, just like experimenting with different food and stuff. But since there's not much, going on with all this quarantine business, so
Oh yeah.
I'm bringing the exotic food to me, and like go to the farmer's market and trying to pick up something fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
My muddler. I was like, I've had this muddler since I've been like 21, like because I bartended and stuff in college. So I've always had this muddler, and then it was in my basement. It was in storage, and I found it, and I'm like, all right, got to break it out. And I've got basil too, so like I've got to make some kind of like mocktail or cocktail with that basil because I made ratatouille over the weekend. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's like I've got a bunch of basil left now, so I'm like, gotta find ways to use it, and yeah, it's fun.
That's awesome. I don't think I've ever made such an awesome sounding cocktail in my entire life. I'm proud of myself when I don't spill the soda.
And it was a trip, but it was like something that I'm always at like family functions. I always end up being the bartender. It's like, yeah. Got my grandma drunk one year off of an apple teeny. Just one. She just like chugged it, and I was like, probably shouldn't do that, Grandma. Yeah,
it was just that good. It was that good of an apple teeny.
Yeah, like it was strong and good. Like I'm really good at that. It's like my special making it with the kick, but then also like making it flavorful.
It's definitely an art form, not one that I will ever master.
Cathy, what does your blanket say?
Oh, you're muted.
We can't hear. You're muted.
Hey, Kat, you're muted.
Can you guys?
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yay!
Okay. Well, I had to run back inside because of the storm here. So if I lose y'all know continue to talk and it'll come back.
It's not showing that you're live on here.
Oh, I'm not on there yet. Oh. Okay. Let me see who we got on here. Let me see if I can do this screen thing. Nope.
Hey, Kelsey.
How's it going?
Can y'all hear us?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Trying to see how to put everybody on my side screen. I'm always trying something new, but I promise I ain't gonna hang up on y'all. That was in it.
Should be on the more, right?
I was disable video receiving. That's not it.
Go up to right there.
That's gonna make it small. We're like old people trying to learn how to work a computer.
Oh, everybody's already there.
I know. It's probably something I hit. Okay. So who do we have on here? Let's see. All right, there we go. We rocking and rolling with something. All right. Kelsey, Kimberly, and
Clorina.
Joe Nathan, right?
Clorina.
What is it?
Name. Clorina. That's my husband's name.
Oh, okay. I started to say, man, I didn't think I'm gonna come up with that name. I have a cousin named Johanna, and I'm like trying to pronounce. I'm like, that's not Johanna. Okay. So just to tell you how it goes, you are in a protected area to talk about whatever you want to talk about, freely talk about whatever you want to talk about. I'm going to go live on my Instagram and Facebook Facebook so people can hear, but they can't see. And
Water before.
let's see.
She's at my house, so there may be some animal interruption. Not ideal.
Kelsey, can you send? This person is having a hard time getting in, but
Okay.
the person, can you send them an email from yours?
Yeah, here, let me go ahead and yes, I can. Okay, what's the email address?
It's B as in boy, OWLES, Kimberly,
Oh, it
B as
looks
in
like
boy, as
Oh no, that's my
.com.
other. That's me.
Oh,
I think
that's you.
that's my
That's you.
alternate
Oh.
email. I don't know why that. I don't know why it's
Okay.
gonna join.
Oh, okay. Well, you're on here. Then never mind.
I see somebody new.
Okay. Whoop. Okay, you made it. Whoop whoop.
Yes.
All right. I don't know. The Zoom guys always have something against me and be like trying to block me out. But what we do is we just kind of talk about just whatever you want to talk about. I don't, pressure people to tell their stories or nothing like that. It's really whatever you feel that you want the world to know. And I always like to end on a positive note so we can teach people how to cope and how we are coping, and to make people aware of mental health, right? Because going through this whole process, your mental health is definitely like pulled on, right? So just to really shine light on things like that. So I'll go live on Instagram and Facebook. People can't see you guys. When we put all the stuff together as a show, I will let you approve your part, with your clip or whatever. So you may say something that's funny or something that's serious that we want to get a point out. I will always send that to you before we put it together as a series. Because I always want you to feel like you're protected and know that we're not trying to like take advantage of your, I guess, trauma, right? Because
Right.
to me, that's sacred. And so I would never want to hurt another person going through what I've been through. So, I mean, that's really it. Do y'all got any questions? Do you want to ask something before I hit this live button? No. Okay.
What just happened here?
Okay.
Wonder why that lady made me cough. She's like, cough.
Hey guys, it's Kat, and you're behind the scenes on Real Talk Rebels. Of course, today we have some beautiful, beautiful rebels that will share their life with you. The reason why you cannot see them is because we're in a protected community where they're allowed to be vulnerable, to tell the truth, to discuss some things, to get off their chest, and also talk about today, where we're at today with COVID-19, with a possible woman becoming vice president, and so much more. So let's get to it. I first have on here, as you discuss, and just tell the world a little bit about yourself, whatever you want to share. We'll pass the mic. All right, so whoever has it. So Kelsey, let's start with you.
Sure, sounds good. So my name is Kelsey Smith, and I go on Instagram by pretty.resilient, so you can find me there. I am 35 years old. I'm a stage 2 breast cancer survivor. I was diagnosed in 2014 at the age of 29, and I underwent a double mastectomy, reconstruction, and went through chemo. So I am currently on the 10-year treatment plan. I was supposed to be 5, but found out after taking a BCI test that I am a high-risk individual for metastasis in between years 5 and 10. So that was crazy news to get, but here we are, and I am just, making my way through it. I definitely go through a lot of the symptoms. Currently, I am dealing with some sciatic nerve issues and hip bursitis, which is just so much fun. But besides that, I am currently a brand manager for a health and nutrition company, but I also provide business development consulting. So pretty much what I do is I help individuals launch their businesses, and I am on a mission to unlock the brilliant, resilient, amazing, valuable, extraordinary, real you. So that is me. That is what I do. And I am so appreciative for Kat to, allow me to come on every single week and just have some real talk. So I love it. And I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic over to Kimberly.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kim Bowles, and I'm a stage 3 breast cancer survivor. I was diagnosed when I was 35, and that was 3 years ago, when I was breastfeeding my second child. And I had the kitchen sink treatment, I like to call it. I had a double mastectomy, neoadjuvant chemo. I had a double mastectomy with no reconstruction. I decided to go flat. And I had radiation, and I had antibody infusions, and I had another year of another targeted drug, and I'm done with everything except for tamoxifen now, and I feel pretty much relatively normal, although I think chemo ages you about 15 to 20 years, as Kelsey was just mentioning.
I easily 15 years.
It's no joke, and it's the price we pay for, the chance to live a longer life. And I'm an advocate for aesthetic flat closure, which is a surgery to produce a nice, smooth, flat, breastless chest contour after the double mastectomy or the single mastectomy. So you can find me on Instagram at Not Putting On a Shirt. We're also on Twitter and Facebook, and we have a website, notputtingonashirt.org, where we provide tools and resources for women who are facing mastectomy and considering going flat, or facing explant and going flat. And we also work with institutional stakeholders internationally and nationally to try to make sure that women going flat can access the best possible care and get the best quality aesthetic flat closure that they deserve, that they can live with. So thanks for having me on.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Pass the mic, Kimberly.
How do I pass the mic? Sorry, I'm a noob.
Just say it verbally.
Who else is there? I can't see it on my screen. I can't actually see all the participants. Oh, here we go.
Oh, it's Shawnee.
Jonathan's wife, Shoni. I mean, do I have to click something? I'm sorry, I'm really a newbie.
No. Just say her name, and then we'll go.
Person. I think we have another person. We have Sabrina. Sabrina's here too. So somebody else.
How about we pass it to Sabrina? Trial by fire, Sabrina. Go. Wait.
And Sabrina,
okay.
You're on mute, so you'll want to unmute yourself, sweetie.
Clorina could also go. Clorina was here, has been here for a couple minutes.
I'll go ahead and go. I'm Clorina. So I'm just telling my story, right? Just like how.
Mm-hmm.
I am 30.
Whatever you want to share.
I'm 30 years old. I was diagnosed in May I had I was about to stop feeding my 1-year-old daughter. I was breastfeeding her. And that's how I found it, through breastfeeding my daughter. I have a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. So that's probably been the hardest part about this. And just like going through treatment and everybody being like, but you're so young, but you're so young. And like people in my age group or like my friends not having any idea of like what's happening, because most of them are like just living life regular. And like, so that has been probably the hardest part about this, is just the idea that like I am so young, and like really was like, oh, I'm just getting going in my career, and I'm just getting going in like all the things that I want to do, and then getting hit with it and just being like, me even being in disbelief for a while of like, but I'm so young, like what do you mean, like, huh? So yeah, and yeah, that's it.
Well, I think that's something important to talk about. So when were you diagnosed again? What age?
May 20th of this year.
And how old are you? Do you mind me asking again?
I'm 30. I
30.
in January.
Okay. And so I think for me, because I heard that so much because I was 35, right? So it's kind of older than you, but at 35, they kept telling me the same thing, like, oh, you're too young. You're too young to have breast cancer. Mm-hmm. And so my doctors totally missed it, right? Even when I brought it to their attention. So I definitely want to continue to use this platform so people can understand, like, cancer has no age. Like, cancer is cancer. It has no bias with social or with financial. So, and it's, girl, and then you look so beautiful, girl.
I know. You got the prettiest head.
I'm gonna tell you, I miss my bald head, right? Because I thought I was gonna have like an egg-shaped head. And yeah, girl, yes.
Beautiful. That is so beautiful. Yeah.
You just liberated 2 women just now. We're gonna live through you.
Well, and honestly, being 29, I mean, I have a friend who was 27 when she was diagnosed, and I think I'm really inspired by you because you're choosing to make a platform to talk about it. She did talk about it as well, but after she was done with the main treatment, she kind of went into what you had talked about, that denial mode. And so just one thing I can maybe share, for you, just don't go into your denial mode. Keep being an advocate for yourself the way you are being, because you are so young. But gosh, you'll be able to teach so many people so much
You
more.
would save so many young lives because like my daughter, so she's 19, and only because of what I went through and she's seen it, she's more vocal. So you're going to empower so many young women by saying, if you know something's wrong with your body, say something, and don't just take their word for it, like speak out. So welcome. I'm so happy you're here. Yes. Well, Tani, you have to introduce me.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my God, I miss my Tani. Oh, where's my Tani? I know. Okay, introduce yourself.
So I'm Tierney. My Instagram is Gypsy Dharma. So I'm the breast cancer yogi lover. But it's even hard for me to talk though, because after listening to you at 29, like you're just so much more mature than I am. You got a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. I'm like, whatever I went through is nothing. I have a dog that's driving me crazy. That's about it, But it's funny because Kat's here with me, and I had to get the COVID test today because I'm getting my ovaries out. One of the reasons for that is my cancer was estrogen fed, and I, like many people, are so scared of a recurrence, and so I want to do whatever I can naturally to just minimize my chances of a recurrence. And so I was on the Lupron shot, but it was, and I can only share it with my pink sisters, really question if I wanted to live or not. It was just getting to a point where that roller coaster was too much. So not necessarily excited about jumping into menopause here in about the next 72 hours, but I'm glad I won't have to get the shot anymore. And, it just goes to show that once our hair grows back, people like to think we're all done.
Right.
And, it's just a constant advocacy for yourself and for your health.
Yeah. And so one thing that we took notice, so how was the it was a show. Kelsey, you remember? I'm like, just cut my nose off. I'm not doing it, right?
So if you want to see my experience, I did illegally videotape it. So it is on my Gypsy Dharma account. But it really wasn't that bad. I mean, it was annoying. It was, but it was not as bad. But I remember I took antihistamine.
Right.
And I have an anxiety disorder, so I did have some of my anxiety medicines ready. But
so go drugged up, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
And you'll be very fun.
So who are we passing?
But it was not as bad. But I took antihistamine.
Right.
And I have an anxiety disorder, so I did medicines ready. But
so go drugged up,
be fun.
So who are we passing here? Are you here? I see her name.
I don't know why the pictures aren't showing up like the Brady Bunch.
Only for
right?
mine, it's like 4 at a time.
Zoom got something.
Because I'm on my phone, but
I know.
So you are seeing a waffle?
Ours is 0 at a time.
Yeah.
We only see the person who's talking and ourselves, but
I
mean, I can see a list of names, right?
Yeah, can you go swipe right, and it should take you to a block of 4 because there is a total of 7 of us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there goes Sabrina. Sabrina.
Sorry for my late.
My hair done.
You want to introduce yourself?
Me? Hey, you guys. Sorry that I'm late. I was trying to get my Zoom to work, and I was just having a hard time. But my name is Sabrina, but you can call me Bree. I'm not a cancer survivor. I'm co-host of Cathy. But I do have other people in my family besides Cathy that are breast cancer survivors. To include my mother and my aunt. So I know I posed the question before, should I get tested, just to see and all of that other stuff. Of course, that's scary for me, but I don't think it's as scary for me as it has been for you guys finding out you actually do have breast cancer. So that's what's kind of putting me on hold. But other than that, as you can see, I do hair, so I don't really have a lot to say. I'm just interested in hearing y'all stories and just being encouraged because you guys have so much courage and you empower me as a woman just because I see your strength and to hear the stories that you've gone through. But that's it.
Good to see you, Bree.
Say hi, Bree.
Okay, cool. So you have to pass the mic.
Let me see who I got. Did Shawnee go already?
No, I didn't.
Okay, well, I pass the mic to you, Shawnee.
Hello. Okay, so my name is my name is Shawnee. My Instagram handle is brsugar, but not really sugar, but sugar, like SUGA. I was diagnosed in November of 2015. I was 36. I found a lump myself. I don't have any family history. So when I found out, being in the profession that I am in, I'm a health and phys ed teacher. So to me, I was doing all the right things. I was eating the right things, exercising like 5 times a week or whatever it was, on a daily basis, and whatever else I did during the day with my students. So to me, when I came home from jogging one day and I went to take my sports bra off, I just happened to brush my hand underneath my left armpit and I found a lump the size of like one of those gumballs you get out of the gumball machine that, obviously nobody likes those things, but kids love them. But to feel something that pronounced was just, I didn't even really believe that it was there. So got in the shower, and I felt like I was in there for I don't know how long, just wishing that wasn't there, and I tried to really poke it back in, like, this is not here, this is going to go somewhere else. And so eventually got out the shower, and because I didn't have like a primary, like I didn't have a lot of my doctors set up the way I should have, so I had to start struggling to figure out where to go. And because I was only 36, they said to me, well, you can't just get a mammogram, you have to get a script and you have to have proof. I'm like, well, the lump right there in my boob told you need to check it out. So I eventually went and got just a breast exam. And as soon as I went to the GYN, she automatically gave me the number to say, listen, you need to set up a mammogram, you need to set up a sonogram, you need to set up, she gave me went as far as giving me a surgical oncologist number. So by the time I walked out of that building and into my car, I was sitting, like, making plans to have these appointments set up as soon as possible. Like, they literally happened within 2 weeks and 2 weeks and 2 weeks. And it was just like a whirlwind. I don't know. Like, I just, like, just even making the appointments was just beyond me. Like, I knew it was something wrong, but it just, you just really don't want it to be done. But I also, so after, I went to the breast oncologist after having the mammo and the sono, where they really quickly saw pictures and came back in, and sonogram, she was very nice at first, and then her face changed very quickly, like, uh-oh. And then she had to try to change her face back, and I'm like, you're not doing a good job at it. Your poker face is bad. She left, and the radiologist came back in, and he's like, well, what it looks like to me is cancer. And it's not just where you think it is, it's somewhere else also on the breast. So once I met with the surgical oncologist, the plan was, okay, so we remove one breast. It wasn't even a thought like, why not just remove two? And me naively going into this, because like I didn't know anyone who had breast cancer. I didn't know what I was getting into, and did as much looking up. Like, there's only but so much you can Google before you fry your brain. I went through, after I did the mastectomy on the left side, I did chemo and radiation, and then came around and I said, you know what, when we do the exchange for the left breast, just make it a double exchange, right to implant, because it's not like there was anything wrong with the right breast, but the surgical oncologist decided he was going to clean house and leave no place for an implant. So I came out surgery with an expander, and like the expander was on the right side too, but it hadn't been filled at all. So it was like, now it came back out the same way I went in the last time, and it totally threw me for a loop. Like, I just was so ready to be done. And, this was like my final step. And I'm like, all right, I'm finally going to be able to be over with this. Because, when you're going through it, you think all these things are done. I'm finished. I hit that finish line. I can keep on going. And then when, the bumps in the road come along, then, it just totally throws you into another realm where you're like, is this ever going to end? So because my cancer is hormone driven, I was given tamoxifen like almost literally right after my radiation stopped. And probably within 3 months of taking it, I had blood clots in my lungs and in my calf. they didn't really want to listen to me. I went to emergency room, and they were like, "Oh, you have pneumonia." And until I just was like, "Listen, can you just like CAT scan this calf again?" They looked, and as soon as they found the CAT scan, the blood clot in the calf, they looked immediately went back to, oh, let's go to CT the chest again, and sure enough, they found the blood clots in both lungs, and you know, I just wanted to be like, I told you so, but it just really didn't suit me well anyway. So after all of the eventually, like that July, I was supposed to get I got my implants. They felt like rocks. My chest was hard. My like I had developed lymphedema like literally right after the first mastectomy. So I was sitting there with the inability to even really use my left arm to lift things, to just move around. And it just was really difficult because you go from this person that's physically fit, like, and you're walking around using a cane or whatever it is that you need to, you know, move. Because once I stopped taking the tamoxifen, they threw me into menopause by I'm on Lupron, and first I think they tried exemestane, something I don't remember. Like, I went through every one of them you could possibly think of, and I was in so much pain. Like, I felt like it didn't matter where I laid, where I sat, stand. It just felt like my joints hurt no matter what. The pressure from standing, you know, the pressure from, you know, the fact that you can like sleep on your side is like amazing, because I literally have been sleeping on my back for like 4 years. And like, I forget and slip up and, you know, turn to one side, and it's like my arm is numb. So yeah, it's just it's a lot.
How are they treating your lymphedema?
Well, I have I do usually wear my sleeve, and now I have to go back to PT because I am getting a lot of swelling that I hadn't had before, and then my armpits are getting sore. But I also kind of feel like my doctor's just kind of brushing me off, which I have felt along my journey, that they're not really understanding when I say I'm in pain, that like, this is pain that I can't continue to live like. This is not a new normal, and it's not okay. And it's not like I want to be doped up on any kind of painkillers, but like, is there some solution? Is there other things that can be done? When I usually go to PT, the massages help, but they're like, oh, you can do them by yourself. I'm like, I can barely move the left arm to go to the right breast, and then let alone reaching underneath to get all the way to the back, like where your bra fat is. That's where I also have swelling too. Who actually can reach that?
Well, it's interesting that you say that, because I have a couple of friends who've had the lymphedema, and I've been very, you know, nervous with the lymphedema. So, you know, with my yoga certification, I'm trying to see, because the lymphatic system is basically like your plumbing system to where anything that's got toxins, and that's why it's important about, you know, clean eating, because basically that lymphatic system is just pushing everything. Where like us have cancer in our lymph nodes, if we're not careful, you know, then we have that cancer grow, and then the lymphedema is basically, you know, your lymph nodes are just getting clogged. So like, they've taught me things where I've learned Lamaze breathing, you know, where you're like, and you're just constantly working on that lymphatic system. But
they do the belly breathing.
So that's why I was wondering what kind of treatment.
Yeah, but
they were always very like, this, we so many drugs, you know. So but that's something I want to work with as well. So if you're ever interested in just trying to you know, help people who are struggling with the lymphedema like you are, I'd love to link up with you and just put our heads together for sure.
Oh,
and then everybody with I Rock My Scars and stuff. It's not anything that we're not, you know, the doctors don't understand unless they've been through it. They don't understand. They really don't, you know.
Shawnee, you are. Can I interject? Just
Kimberly was going to say something.
Shawnee, you are seeing a physical therapist? Is that what you said?
Well, I'm going to start going back to physical therapy.
Okay.
I was actually with a breast rehab specialist. Like she was literally like lymphedema, breast rehab. That's it. And you know, she would do the lymphatic massaging or drainage with me. And you know, I mean, I do it myself, but I just never felt like it does the same as somebody else doing it on you. And even, you know, she was into a lot of different ways to I guess just even strengthen up the core muscles and things of that nature, just to make sure that it's also that you're not just working on just one little part of your arm. It's like you're making sure the drainage is even through the hip and down the thigh, and she took
Right. Throughout your whole body.
So you're going to a
And they
different
say
physical
that
therapist
the
now?
tap
Wait,
building.
are you still seeing the specialist?
put me a
Oh, now it's broken up. Maybe I'm gonna mute my.
but it's just
There's a lot
like
with
went
the
hiatus.
lymphatic
So
system that I think they
can you hear
overlook
me?
a lot as doctors when they see us as breast cancer survivors, so they're just always looking at our boobs. But that lymphatic system is so. I mean, I know for me, it's just, you know, even building up the heat in your body, that pranayama and everything. It's to be able to. You've got to detoxify the lymphatic system so then the lymphedema can minimize itself. But you know, I don't think. I don't want to discount the medical profession, but I just don't think it's something that they really even look at for us as survivors and going, well, what is, yeah, we talk to you about lymphedema, but we don't really know why.
Yeah. And I think that's the biggest thing though, is teaching each other what works. And I think if we all put our expertise together, we can help more people. So like you said, with yoga, it does help your body. I know when I was going through breast cancer, working out and yoga helped me because it kind of helped my muscles, you know, not be tense. It helped when I had my surgery. I could barely lift my arm up. And now, when I just kept working out, even though they were against it, they were like, oh, don't work out, you know, don't work out, don't do that. They even told me, like, don't go on Google. Has any doctors tell you, like, don't stay off Google, don't research it, because you're going to make your brain think way worse than what you are. Like, have y'all heard that?
Yep. And I've heard that, and I say to them, well, if you were
on no, go ahead. I'm sorry, Shawnee.
Oh, I said, and I said, if you were a little bit more forthcoming with information instead of having to make me go in and search stuff, we wouldn't have this conversation. So there's no guidebook. There's nothing that says, okay, I have lymphedema, I should ask this questions. No, it's your job to tell me the information so that even if I don't understand it, that's when I might Google something. But if you're not giving that to me, I'm having to Google more, and then my brain is starting to click more, and it's like, okay, wait a minute, it could be more, it could be worse, it could be, and you don't even need that extra stress.
Right. And so I think for me, I wasn't trying to like self-diagnose myself, but you know how sometimes you start to see like this symptom or this and this, and you start saying like, oh, I got that. I understood that they didn't want your brain. I need more information. And sometimes going to the internet, definitely you have to do your research and make sure it's a viable source. But it kind of helped me get through because I was researching natural stuff, which nobody ever told me about. It was like medicine. Okay, so on IG we have author Natasha Moore. Can you read that?
And she says physical therapy and massages opt out of the pain medicines for anything, but I find that muscle relaxers do help relax my arm. The left was the cancer side.
Relaxers,
And
like
then,
I recommend. Sorry. Go ahead. What did you say?
Yeah. Well, Christine was cute because she says for me, what worked was somatics and acupuncture, and then she said, and barefoot walks on Maui Beach.
I think that definitely will help me too.
Let's all go.
We're coming to Maui, baby.
We'll see you there, Christine.
What you were saying, Kels?
I was saying whenever somebody is talking about the pain that they're having with the reconstruction, I always will recommend that they talk with their surgeons about muscle relaxers. A lot of people don't know that that's an option. When you are getting something so invasive as having, you know, your breast removed and having all of your muscle like scraped at and everything, it's super traumatic. So in addition to muscle relaxers, I recommend BioFreeze. And that's like one of my local Pink Sisters here said, oh my gosh, like that was a total game changer for me, because, you know, it's so often that if we're in pain, doctors just want to give us pain meds, and those can have opioids in them, and opioids can be highly habit forming. So, you know, and in addition to that, like, I don't know about some of you guys, but like they make me feel like real buzzy and light, and it's just not, it's not a comfortable feeling. Plus they cause like constipation, you know, obviously there's a high rate, you know, there's a possibility for addiction, but personally, that's not my go-to. Like if I'm in any sort of discomfort from the scraping in my chest, then yeah, I recommend muscle relaxers to anybody, and they're not habit forming either. So it's like you can take one and you won't feel any, you know, deprivation in the future. You're good to go.
I didn't think about that. That's good, Kat. I mean, when you say it, it's like, oh, yeah, that's common sense. But I never thought about that. And it's funny because I was just talking to Kat earlier, because I have to have some corrective stuff to my reconstruction. I was telling him, like, well, when I lift it up, it doesn't hurt my muscle, but when I let it go, my muscle hurts. And it's like probably the way it's pulling on it. I didn't even think about using BioFreeze though. That's like, duh, we put it on our butts.
And I use BioFreeze on my port scar sometimes too. Like if I get that tightness and that tenseness in there, and I still sometimes get it.
I can't hear, but yeah, that's a good idea. I'm gonna try that on my port scar because I want to scratch that thing off sometimes.
All right. On IG, we have breast cancer doesn't have me. Doctors and nurses have told me to stay off Google too. Christine.Lemma. I was told not to do acupuncture, and it helped me the most. Someone else said they do acupuncture too during the treatment. It helps. So, I mean, I would hate to say that. I'm not saying the doctors don't know what they're talking about, but like, I think people have to understand that we don't always want to be on medication because we're on so many meds, right? So I think if we do research and if we're saying, okay, acupuncture works, I mean, it may not work for everyone, but try it because it's not medication. Author Natasha Moore says, yes, after my mastectomy and reconstruction removal, I did not do the painkillers, just the muscle relaxers, but she will also try the BioFreeze. So thanks, Kels, for sharing that.
And we have to remember too, sometimes we are in the United States of America, and so they're going to be very Western medicine. So any of those, the Eastern type philosophies, that's why when I went, I mean, I almost wasn't going to do chemo. I'm like, I'm a naturalist, I'm not doing this. And then that's when they asked me, would I be willing to have a relationship with the both of them? But there's not a lot of oncology. I mean, I'm grateful for that, but there's not. I mean, unfortunately, they're taught by the, you know, Western medicine. So it's like, no, you got to take this pill and this pill and that pill and this pill and that pill. And then you find out about carrot juice.
So you guys,
the thing is too though, like you know, survivorship has just gone up so much because of the invention of chemo. So, you know, we can't necessarily discount it all the time. Like, I think, you know, there's such like a division, you know, within the community, like to do chemo or not to do chemo, and the benefits and the research that is, you know, and sometimes it's completely over my head because I didn't study it. It's not my specialty. It's not my expertise. But what I learned is that with, like, in my situation, like the way that it was broken down, to me was something where it travels a lot of the times to the lymphatic system, which then is filtering everything all over your body. So if the cancer's in your lymph nodes, like in my case, there were 2, then that's filtering everywhere. And so back when cancer treatment was like in its infancy in like the past 100 years, if you look at the past 100 years of like cancer research and history and all this, there was a big push to just like mastectomies, just cut it out and get rid of the cancer, Well, then what was happening was people who had breast cancer, their cancer was showing up in different parts of their body. And so they couldn't figure it out. They're like, well, we just cut off the breast. Like, why is it not, why are they finding it in the bones? Or why is it, here or there? Well, it's because of the lymphatic system. So that was like a big, breakthrough within cancer research. And then eventually came like chemotherapy treatments. Like, I mean, I'm not sure, but I want to say like at least like Taxol. So Taxol is like a common one, that we're all given. That comes out of the Pacific yew tree. So all those people are like, oh, go holistic, all this stuff. Taxol comes from the Pacific yew tree. Like it's a derivative of a tree. So we are using, in cancer treatment at times, we're using derivatives from plants in order to treat. So, it kind of just napalms everything and is just like, that's the way I almost liken it to like Agent Oranging your body. It's like, we're just going to burn it all indiscriminately because you have the worst possible option there is. And so I think now with like the, additional research, it's like before they would just go balls to the wall. And now they're like, okay, you have a choice between 8 weeks of this or like you want to do an additional 12 weeks of that. Like it's really amazing, like between the immunotherapies that are coming out that, people can use their own immune systems and that, like, it's really amazing, like, what has happened. But there are, because before it used to just be dust. And now we're living. And some of us, it's really fucked up and it's really unfair that we have some of us have metastatic breast cancer and there isn't an answer. But like, I'm so grateful that there's like companies, our organizations like MetaViver that are, pushing for us to, get more research in for those people who are stage 4, who are at that critical point, because they shouldn't be dying, So it's just like, I think what's happening with the information age is we're learning that, in addition to these, some of these harsh therapies, there are like very simplistic things that people can do also, like depression. Why just give a pill? It's like, some people need that because it's how their brain works. Other people just need to go outside.
Right. That's breast cancer doesn't have me. That's what she was saying. Yeah, exactly. We're younger and we're learning how to research stuff. So we're becoming more of a team with our oncology team so that we can both. It's not one or the other. We can do a combination of everything that works. Why not?
And one thing I wanted to say, so Shani, when you were talking about your doctors, oh, I'm sorry. Somebody want to speak?
I was just going to say, I was at the San Antonio Breast Cancer Symposium last year. That's the big conference that brings together all the different types of cancer researchers: surgical oncology, medical oncology, radiation oncology. There was a huge focus at last year's conference, the research that was presented, there was a big focus on de-escalating care. They call it de-escalating care. So trying to use less invasive treatments because of the side effects that you guys are talking about now. So less invasive surgery, they actually did a test. Did any of you guys have a complete pathologic response to chemo? Does that sound like a familiar term to any of you guys?
No, what is that?
So that's when you get chemo before surgery, and then when they take off your breast and slice it up and look at it under the microscope, there's no invasive cancer left. The chemo killed it all. And the proof is in looking at the surgical pathology. So they're doing a bunch of research to try to figure out, how do we identify those people before surgery? How do we spare them the mastectomy? They're actually moving towards no surgery and only using chemo and targeted therapies and immunotherapies, and then sampling, like doing biopsies to identify people that actually don't need surgery at all. So there's a big push in the research community to do less invasive treatment. I know a lot of times it feels like they're not listening to us, and I've certainly experienced that myself, but there's also a large number of really, committed researchers that are committed to improving our quality of life. And can you imagine a world where you don't have to have breast cancer surgery if you have breast cancer? And you won't have to live with any of those side effects. You won't have to have reconstruction. You won't have to deal with the muscular issues. I mean, it's just, true research is how we, ultimately in the long run, address these problems. And hopefully for our daughters, they won't have to face what we're facing now.
I have a friend who she just finished chemo, and when they went in and did her surgery, they found that she had a complete pathological response because she had oh God, what is it? When it swells really big.
Inflammatory breast cancer.
Yes, she had inflammatory breast cancer, and they found that it completely cleared it out, but then they still were like, okay, but you still need to do radiation. And so that was my big, because I'm like noticing that all of y'all are like out of like I'm in like the baby steps, and y'all are like the after steps, and I'm like, oh Jesus, I'm actually getting kind of like nervous listening to all of y'all. I'm like, oh God. But that was
one step at a time, girl. One step at a time.
Yeah.
They were telling me was like, even if I have like a complete response, they still recommend that I do like the surgery and then the radiation and then the like pill. Like, so it's like, sometimes that's where I'm sitting in this is I'm just like, dang, wait. So like, even if I do good here, I still have to do, because like right now I'm going through chemo and I'm like at the weekly Toxol treatments. So that's where I am. And I'm like, okay, I'm doing fine with the Toxol. Like, I'm like still living, like the AC treatments took me out. Like that week after, I was like, it was certain days where like, I was just like, I don't want to do this no more. Like, it's stupid. Like, let me just go to sleep. I'll wake up when this is all over. Can I just like sleep for this? But like with the Toxol, I'm like, finally, like, I feel like I'm just living like me. Like, I mean, I'm still bald and all, but I'm living like me. And so that's what scares me the most is like, dang, but I still got so much more. Like, and listening to y'all talk, I'm even more scared, I'm not gonna lie. Cause I'm just like, damn, like, okay, like I'm like beasting at this one thing, but then there's this other mountain that's like in the distance where I'm like, damn, I gotta climb you too. And then like after that mountain, I'm like, damn, I gotta go through this canyon too. Like, it's just like, I just feel like it's just like, every time I feel like I've like got to a point where I'm like, okay, I can do that. Then there's like this other mountain that I'm like, damn, I got to take that too. And that's where I'm like, sorry, I'm crying, but yeah. So that's like, to y'all.
No. Wait a minute. Hold on. Don't ever say sorry. Don't ever say sorry. This is what this platform is for. Number one, for you to be open, for us to support you. Girl, my eyes are tearing because trust me, I was where you're at, right? Mm-hmm. So this is the perfect group because we've already been through what you're going through. I didn't have that when I went through breast cancer. Like, right. I was trying to figure it out, right? So you're like, God has put you, it's like divine intervention. Mm-hmm. You're surrounded with some rebel sisters. It's like, look, we done been through the worst trenches and now we're going to support you. So you don't have to say sorry, girl. Like, you could cry. That's why I built this platform, because I want you to know you're supported and you're not alone. Like,
and it is a lot. And I think that's one thing, you've got to take where you are and just be there. Don't worry about what's come. It's not wonderful advice, but it's advice to say, this is a constant battle that you're going to have for the remainder of your life, but you're being so responsible already. You're being so on top of it. You know more about your cancer treatment than I did when I was at
Right.
your spot. You know, like, so you are doing great, and it's okay that you're crying because this shit sucks. I
Right.
mean, we didn't
Yes.
want this. We didn't sign up for this class. We don't, we didn't get a scholarship to go be freaking cancer kind of, whatever we are. We just had to because we wanted to live. So
Right.
yeah, girl, I mean,
Right.
just cry
And
it out.
and it's okay. And I was about to say, like, I just know, like, even because I had inflammatory breast cancer, and I just woke up and my boob was like the size of a baby watermelon, right? And I didn't know what to do with that. I'm like, what the heck? What am I gonna do with that? And I understand because it's so fearful, right? Because all we want to do is live. And I think, well, I know for women now, we are surviving longer with breast cancer, right? So my first thing I would say to you, honey, is your mental stability. That is so important. That you have to do self-care, like affirmations in the morning, like be as positive as possible. This shit sucks.
Keep
Like,
them workouts
I'm not
going.
gonna say you're not gonna
Yes.
have your days. I still cry, right? I'm mad and angry, and I'm like, why me, right? But the thing about it is, like, yo, like, you are the perfect advocate, right? You have to think about the qualities that you have right now. Like, you're a warrior, you're strong, and sometimes you be like, I don't even want to be that strong. Like, fuck that. It's okay to be weak. Take your cape off and be like, yo, I am a person at the end of the day. I hurt. I'm vulnerable, and that's why this platform is here, because I want women to know that that shit is okay. Like, and if somebody else questions how you are, be like, fuck it. Sometimes I'm up and sometimes I'm down. Like,
And I want
you want to trade spots with me? If not, then fuck off.
Right? Walk this walk.
and
Yes.
I say that feelings towards the matter, like, even after, after you're done with treatment, it is not your responsibility. You're allowed to feel however you want about it. You don't have to, get better super fast or anything like that.
Right.
People try to
Right.
push you because they're not able to deal with, like, the fact that you were perfectly healthy and then suddenly you're the one who got breast cancer, and it makes no sense to probably anybody around you at all. And it is not your burden to take on. Like, take as long as you need to go through every phase of this that you need to go through, because this is super, super tough.
And I
Yeah, and
think
we all have our days. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing to say.
hearing everyone else's stories, it is a little scary, but in the same sense, you have to be the same story that happened to all of us, whatever we went through. It's just gives you a little bit of a heads up of things that can occur, which you would rather know than to just completely be in the dark, which I was like, I can get blood clots in my lungs from tamoxifen. Like, I had no clue. Like, I literally was short of breath and had a pain in my calf, and I'm like, these don't correlate. I don't know why would these two things be happening. And I just told my doctor I'm going to the emergency room, and it's just knowing your body, regardless of what stage you are at, is what the most helpful part is. And never push yourself past wherever you think you're going at that point. You don't have to be up and running, right after your treatment because that's what you did last week. This week you may listen, I need to chill a little bit, and that's how it is.
Do you have help with the babies?
Yeah, so that is not even a thing. Like, my worries
Okay.
with them, my husband is the absolute best when it comes to being with the babies and stuff. And then my mom is here, so I'm
That's
in
good.
Houston. Yeah, so all of my family is in Ohio. I'm the only person in my family in Houston. And then my mom. So it's me, my husband, my mom, and the kids. That's it. The rest of our family is in Ohio. But yeah, so I have help with them. They're like that. So far, surprisingly, I don't even know how, my mental is pretty good. I'm just I'll have moments, but one of the things I was telling my husband was so far I just have moments. I haven't had days. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't been where I'm oh, this is just a shitty day. It'll be a moment in the day, and my biggest thing that tugs on me is just but I feel fine. I think that's like the mind, like, excuse my French, the mind fuck.
Mind fuck.
Is like, but I feel fine. Like how, like literally one day I'm outside running up and down the street with my kids, like, you know, like falling out on the ground, doing whatever. And then the like next day, it's like, oh, wait, you got to slow down. You got to be careful. Like you have to, like you are really, really, like that's just like the thing that like, I don't even know how to explain to anybody, but it's just like, but I feel fine. Like I feel fine. Like I want to live. But then it's like all of the like boundaries of like, but no, you are sick. Like, you know, like you are going through chemo. Like that's the part that like really like messes with me the most, is just like, but I feel fine. Like, can't I just keep going like this? Like, so, and then it's like,
let me give you some advice that I would never forget. So when I every special holiday, birthday, or something that happens throughout the year, it links to my breast cancer. Like, so I will never forget, it was the day before my birthday. I was having my chemo treatment, and it was like a 78-year-old lady, right? Was like, that was her last treatment. And, you know, I looked at her and I was like, man, this is my first having treatment. And I'm in here crying when I'm looking at this 78-year-old lady. And she's like, I've done this 3 times and I'm not going to let cancer take me out. And so she looked at me and I was like, man, how do you do it? Right? How do you do it? Because I have to find that strength. And she gave me her prayer blanket, right? It was a blue, I still have it, a blue prayer blanket. And she said, you know what? When your body allows you to have fun, you have the most fun that you can have. But when your body says to rest, those are the days you rest and you just look at the sunshine and you read and you get yourself together, because nobody can tell you what that feels like. Nobody. So you listen to your body. And that's what I did the whole time. It's like people, I mean, I still was working full time and I was ripping and running, and people were trying to figure out like, girl, like you told me you were diagnosed with breast cancer. I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't make me like disabled where I can't still move. You have to continue to move your body. Is when we stop moving our bodies were made to move. When we stop and we lay in the bed for 5 or 6 days, your body is not getting any movement. So even when you lay down, just think about like lifting up a book or something minimum, you know, like take your cell phone and reach over your head or something where your body is still moving. That is so important. So you just get in tune with who you are, right? And go play with them kids. So we have one person who wants to give you a book. So author Tom Moore wants to give you a book that she wrote. So if you inbox me, Natasha, I'll connect you to her so you can send it to her. Some people are saying that self-care, crying is a release and a form of self-care. Everybody definitely has their days. And also, Natasha said it's a process, right? I mean, nobody is going to expect anyone to just, I mean, I'm still going through it. 2014 to now, I'm just getting back to saying like, man, I'm going to love this body, one nipple and all. I'm going to love this body, hippie, big butt and all. Like, I don't want all this, but you know what? Like, God gave it to me. I'm a rocket. And I think that's the most important thing that I want people to say, like, embrace the new you, because the old you ain't never coming back. And it may be a good thing, because you're going to live on the edge. You're going to tell people, fuck it. You're going to say, I am who I am. And it makes you kind of fierce. It makes you like, you can't tell me what to do. Don't boss me around no more. You may quit your job. I mean, you may tell your boss, go shut it.
You weren't an alpha before you become an alpha.
You
real.
do.
For real.
You so do. Okay, that brings me to this point. So we have a possibility of a woman becoming a vice president. Do you feel if this happens, it will change how women are perceived in healthcare and as well as in the workplace?
Well, if, you know, certain people could get her name correct, you know, it's just like, I think that that's one of just that alone right there is showing like our need for progression. I mean, it's just, I think it's time. I think it's perfect time for a female vice president. And I certainly would think, and I would hope that it would lead, towards, advancement of women. And I, for one, I finally felt a little glimmer of hope. Like, I know that, she's not perfect and Biden isn't perfect, but it did make me feel a little hopeful compared to what has been, the clown show that's been going on.
Yeah. What about you other ladies? How do you feel? Do you feel like it's an opportunity for women to kind of get on an equal playing field, or do you think it would change the world?
It's so far past time for us to have a female president or vice president. Other countries passed this milestone 20 years ago. It is shameful that it's 2020 and we still have never had a woman in that office. And I welcome Kamala with open arms. She is supremely qualified. She is a beautiful, smart, passionate woman who made Brett Kavanaugh cry on national television. She's not afraid of anyone. And I know there's no perfect candidate. I'm just so happy. I'm beyond happy. And it's just, I feel so angry that it's taken this long, but I'm just happy that it's here now. And I just, we have to do everything we can to make sure that that ticket prevails and that we don't have another 4 years of, I don't even know what to say. You said it was a clown show. It's a sadistic clown show.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
If you think about,
yeah.
If you think about the climate, that Kelsey, you crack me up with that, but that's so true, because if you look back, do all of the history of the presidents have to look pretty much the same? Like, come on. Like you said, 20 years ago, people started making changes in other countries. Why are we still having the same look? There's just
the oligarchy.
We're not recognizing the diversity of our own country with our leadership. It's so sad. It's so sad.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and then going back to school, that's another thing, right? So some counties and cities, if you're on Instagram, you guys, you can join us on Facebook. It's counting down to 1 minute and 22 seconds. So just letting you know if it cut out. And stay tuned. But so for schools, going back, I keep saying this, like, if we can't control grown people, I don't understand how the kids are going to be able to maintain a safe distance and wear a mask and keep their hands clean without COVID being passed. So
Yeah, I teach
I went
high
with you to
school.
the hospital.
I'm speaking from.
Okay.
Oh, no, I was
Go
going
ahead.
to say the same thing probably as you, Shani. I teach high school seniors.
Yep.
And I got to tell them to put their ID on all day. I got to tell them to stop touching each other and stop lollygagging.
Each other all day.
And stop fighting with each other and stop touching each other and stop kissing each other all day. There's absolutely no way, especially with the hallways. Like, I know what hallways look like during passing periods. COVID is mingling all up in there, okay? Because and so I'm just like, I'm not going back to work, and luckily my school district isn't going back as soon. We're doing like virtual for a little bit longer, but even when they go back, I'm not going back. I'm just like, and I keep thinking, how is it not safe to go vote, but it's safe to put kids in school? So you want to postpone the polls, but you want to send the kids back to school.
Yeah, they can't even make the decision meeting together without being on a Zoom meeting, but you're going to send the kids back to school.
Right, exactly.
And what's even worse is that.
So we just definitely have to get. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm just saying, what's even worse is that because there are a lot of ass clown adults that are teachers that don't believe in COVID and are, doing all types of foolish things, like going on vacations, and then they so-called self-quarantining themselves before they come back, and then you're going to be in a building where they're going to try to socially distance. I've dealt with from K through 12. They don't know how to not touch each other. They don't know how to not touch adults because they want to, like, they see you and they want to run at you and hug you, and you're like, okay, wait a minute. Like, they're so touchy, everybody. So I don't know how this is going to work, because as much as you want to do this and like stick your hand up, you got somebody running from your back. Yeah.
And if you just look at the statistics, I give this in-person school experiment 4 weeks tops before they have to shut down.
1 month, yeah.
And right. And so, and what have we accomplished in 1 month? We've infected a bunch more people, and it's just we're not making decisions in this country that are based on solid data. We're doing things that we wish would work, but we don't actually think will actually work. So we're just sticking our heads in the sand. And I'm actually terrified for our nation's teachers, and I'm not sending my kids back.
Neither am I.
Nope. That's a
They're
hard
forcing me back in the building.
There's some are being forced back in. There's no choices.
I know, and that's the worst part of it. This is the failure of our national leadership. This is all the fallout. Are the people with all the money and the power going to be put in harm's way because of these decisions? No.
They got homeschool. They homeschooling they got somebody coming to tutor their kids. They not sending them to school.
It's immoral. This is a failure of national leadership, and Donald Trump and his administration have these people's lives and deaths in their hand, and their blood is on their hands.
He said it is what it is.
It is.
Yeah.
That's
But
what he said.
her emails.
And that's like
we learn from this. Hopefully we'll learn from this experiment, you guys. 4 years, however many, 200,000 people pretty soon dead from COVID because we can't muster the resolve as the greatest nation on earth. We can't muster the resolve to control a coronavirus.
Right.
Shameful. I get so like, it's unbelievable. I know so many healthcare workers myself who are putting themselves and their families in harm's way every single day in order to take care of a bunch of jackasses that wanted to go to a bar and a restaurant. Like we're letting it happen. Like, it's such a failure of leadership.
And I wonder how true it is. They say that countries outside of us are laughing, and they're basically fearful because they're like, why can't we get it together and they getting it together?
Well, and take because right now we're in Georgia, so Governor Kemp, we were one of the last states to close, first ones to open because he's in cahoots, And so now it's Georgia Department of Education is basically telling all of the districts that there is no option to work from home if you're an educator. You will go into that building. You will work there, whether the kids are virtual or not. And if you feel like you can't, then you need to be on short-term disability or take a leave of absence. And like people are like, oh, well, you shouldn't feel bad. There's other people in your boat. I don't care.
Right.
Okay. Or I do care. All of these people in my boat, we shouldn't have to be rowing our boat to our death. I mean, there's a lady who, she has diabetes that she was born with. Her daughter is a childhood cancer survivor, and HR still told her that if she didn't want to come into the building, she would have to file for short-term disability. We're a right-to-work state, so we don't even really have a leg to stand on by trying to take it to court and all of that. It's just, it's so sad. And I'm like, so this whole time that we've been sheltering in placing, not going to the grocery stores, not doing things, making sure we're only with people who are doing the same freaking testing that we're getting done. But now you want to force us back into the school building? And I understand it's probably crazy for kids to be at home. That's not fun for anybody. But don't you want your child alive?
Right. And Kelsey, this is why. So Kelsey and I Rock My Scars is teaming up together to help survivors, people who go through trauma, learn how to embrace their passions and turn it into entrepreneurship. And I think that's important, right? So when you start owning your own business, taking pride in what you enjoy doing, And then we are able to teach you how to turn that into a successful business, where you're not put in another situation, lose your job and you're scared about your benefits, or like now, so people are being forced back to work. And so Kelsey, do you want to talk about that real quick before we jet off?
Sure. So pretty much what I do is I offer consulting, and I offer consulting of business development. So if you are thinking that you have an idea and you're ready to launch it, I am, here to help you get your affairs in order to make that happen. So, right now it's just, obviously we're in uncertain times. We hear it like all the time, right? And yet still there are people who are still, having something that other people can purchase and buy and offer. That you have something to offer to the world. So, and sometimes there's feedback loops in your head saying like, you can't do it. Maybe you don't have certain experience, but really it may help you to have somebody to help you get there and just, get those things in order that you need in order to take those steps and build that momentum. And, the thing is it may not be, a perfect thing right away. There's so many businesses that fail within the first 2 years. And, as a consultant, I've definitely have gone through that, where I've had, my dips, I've had my lows, I've had my highs, I've had it all. So, I'm here to help budding up entrepreneurs. Sorry, I'm like opportunists. Oh my God. Entrepreneurs, it's been a long week. To, basically build your website and get your business up and running. And so I'm here to be a guide and to consult you through. So if you want to contact me and you want to talk, I am pretty.resilient on Instagram. Currently, I think my prettyresilient.com redirects to my Can Survivor website. I can't really remember. I've been doing a lot of things on the back end. So I'm pretty much, rebuilding the Can Survivor network right now, and I'm getting it all transitioned over, and it's been really fun so far. So I just appreciate you, giving me a couple minutes to just speak on it, and having a platform, because you never know what's possible until you try and you connect with the right people who are, there to support you along the way. It's very important.
Yeah. And I want to say congratulations to my girl over here. She got her certification to be a yoga instructor. It is a long process. So she just graduated. And we're going to link up together too to try to put something together with I Rock My Scars and try to do some horse therapy and some yoga. Because in that will help too with our muscles and teach us how to listen to our bodies and be in tune with our inner peace. So definitely everybody on the call, I always end this by saying our time has gone so quickly. We can talk all day, every day. You are welcome to come back any Wednesday that you want to. You're always welcome. I know the code sometimes gives us a headache, but it's the same code every time to log back in. You also can invite anyone that you want to invite that you feel that is beneficial or would be beneficial for them. And then we also have our international show, which we do on Saturday at noon Eastern Standard Time. So I want to end this by saying, know that you are the best and you're better than the rest and nothing less, because you were made by God. So thank you, ladies. I will be reaching out to you, ladies, because I want to help you with your adventure, with your entrepreneurships, and as well as with your health, and just give you any tips that has helped me get through it. And that's it. Anybody else have anything else to add before they go? You want to say your shout outs or how people can follow you or anything?
I just
Yeah,
want
let's
to
follow each other.
I want to say good luck to Clorina with the rest of your treatment. You can do it.
Thank you.
You could do it.
Yeah, no, that's what I was about to say. Some way we can all follow each other. I don't know if Cathy, you could put something like where we can get all the name. I don't know if it's easy for you or not, because I can't.
Yeah. I'll tag. What I'll do is I'll tag everybody to the lips I'm about to post up. I'll tag everybody name to it.
Okay.
There you go.
It's perfect. She's so beautiful.
I just want to say nice to meet all of you guys, and I hope to see you on the next podcast that we have to share more amazing stories.
I love that she's braiding hair. Mom, she's doing it. Do my hair.
All right, ladies, it's been real.
Right.
Thanks for joining.
Thanks for coming to Georgia. Welcome, Scars.
Stay safe out there, you guys.
All right.
Yes, you too. Bye. Have a good night.
Love and light, everybody.